My name is Joe Dahlbach. I'm the Special Events Director for the Sun Bowl Association and the Parade Chairman. What I'd like to talk to you about today is where we're standing at right now. This is one of many locations that the floats get disassembled from the year before. The ideas that come here, we put them down in plans, we draw them out, and we start building them in this warehouse. We currently have about 7 to 8 floats out of the 22 that are in the parade being built at this one location. As you can see all around me, construction is happening as we speak. This is something that takes several months. Some float builders start 3 months out and then just worked all the way down to pre-parade night to finish up right before the parade starts at 10 a.m. on Thanksgiving. There's a lot of behind the scenes that people don't know that I would like to tell them about. One, this is not an event that just happens overnight. It takes a good year of planning. So as soon as the parade is done, we're already planning for the following year. We're looking at things we can improve on. We're looking at things that went great. We're looking at things, getting feedback from volunteers, people from the parade routes. What would you like to see in the parade next year? So we're already looking forward to the next year. What people don't realize is that we use probably close to 600 to 1,000 volunteers to put on this parade. And I say volunteers because that's truly volunteers. For example, no one truly ever thinks about what it takes to clean up a parade route. Well, you got 250,000 people lining the parade route, starting from the night before all the way until 4 o'clock the next day. There's a lot of trash that accumulates. Thank goodness that we have the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This is their community project for the year. So they actually coordinate about 450 to 500 volunteers that are stationed at certain blocks down the parade route. As soon as the parade ends at that location, they start cleaning it up. About an hour after the parade, you could not even tell that there was ever an event on Montana Avenue. And that says a lot about that organization and about how they take pride in leaving that parade route, how it was found when we started the parade. We have about 100 members that are on the parade committee that volunteer to help get all of the floats, the horse units, the bands, the JROTCs, specialty units in line. People just don't show up and get in line. It takes quite a bit, over 4 blocks, 1 block north and south of Montana, to line these folks up and put them in the right order. We do have to have them in the right order because it follows the parade script in which KTSM does broadcast that. So they're working off a script in which we give them, so it's very crucial that we put it in the same order that we give them the script to. It can be challenging at times, but we get it done, and thanks to our volunteers, it turns out great that day for the TV broadcast. A little bit about history of the First Light Federal Credit Union Sun Bowl Parade. This is the 79th year that we are hosting the parade here in El Paso. It started 79 years ago by the Downtown Lions Club, which they organized and put on the parade. Over the years, it has grown quite large compared to what it was back in the early, 1936, I guess it is. Over those 79 years, there's been several sponsors, but I tell you what, about 6 years ago, the parade was in dire need of a sponsor to keep this 79-year tradition alive. It is the largest attended community event, even in the region, with an average attendance of over 250,000 people, plus another 100,000 that watch it on TV, both in Mexico, New Mexico, and in the El Paso area. So it is a very large event. Well, we were very lucky, the Sun Bowl Association, to have First Light Federal Credit Union step up to the plate and not only just be the sponsor, but take the parade to the next level. They've done things such as bring in known costume characters that the kids love. Let's face it, this parade is about kids, it's about creating memories, long life lasting things that you can tell your kids, grandkids, and they've really taken that to the next level. Both bringing in Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, SpongeBob SquarePants, you know, characters like that. And this year, our Grand Marshals being the 1966 Texas Western National Champions, that is phenomenal. Let's face it, when you talk about El Paso, and one thing that stands out in our history, and it's that championship team from 1966. And First Light is they're bringing in as many players as we can. We're up to like 10 players that are coming in to ride in the parade as the Grand Marshals, which is phenomenal. I think the crowd's going to go crazy for those guys.
Hi, my name is Pat Ortega. I work for First Light Federal Credit Union. I'm the project float leader, and I've been the project float leader since 2009. And I really enjoyed doing it. And I have Joe Dahlbach, who showed me how to use the tools, because I didn't know from the beginning how to use them. So with his help, I learned how to use a circular saw, jigsaw, other power tools. So I'm very grateful. And our theme for this year is called Extraordinary Inventions for our float for 2015. And what I do is I get with Natalia and Pepe, they drop the sketches for me what to do. And once I see the sketch, then I go ahead and start creating what I want it to look like. And I like to use shiny stuff, glittery stuff, because I like my float to be outstanding, So that's what you'll see as we're building. And of course, I have volunteers that come out and help out. There's some that are knowledgeable, some that are creative, artistic, and I do get their ideas. Because a lot of us have different minds and everything. And I'm the type that I have to visualize to see what I'm doing. I can't, picture it unless I see it in paper. But I've got other people who have been volunteers with me. There's some that have been with me for about 2 or 3 years, so they know what the outlook is, what we need to do. And what I do is once I look at the picture, what I need to do, I said, okay, this is what we need. I like to use a lot of realistic materials and then building, but of course, the one we're doing a lot of building. It looks really neat because we're going from past, present, and future. Coming to the warehouse and joining all the other family that we call a family with a Sumbel Association. Now we got management involved, so they'll know what it is to build the float from the beginning to the end. A lot of people just see it, how it's built, but they actually don't know what it takes. And like I said, it takes a lot of work and hours, so it's usually over about 500 hours total from all the volunteers that we get, whether it's employees, their family members, or even members that work at the credit union come out and help, even their brothers and sisters, and that's what really helps. And I show them what to do. A lot of them know how to use the power tool, which is good. I tell them what needs to be done, and we start measuring. If they don't know how, then I show them. And I believe in showing them one-on-one, like I was taught from Joe how to do it, because this way, you get it done right the first time, and how to do the floral, which we'll be doing today. And then, of course, this year we're doing the extraordinary inventions, which, of course, kids, the younger generation don't know a lot about the past, how it was built, the first phone, for the first cell phone that came out, the truck that's going to be pulling the float, So each individual we're building, and it's going to be really neat. We're going to have the space shuttle. We're going to have the atom with it spinning the molecule, the old phonograph, and an old camera. So a lot of them are going to wonder, what is that? But they're going to be able to see what the items were back then in the older generation versus the younger generation.
My name is Carl T. Murphy. I'm the president and CEO of First Light Federal Credit Union, and I started working with them October 2nd of 1984. Well, First Light Federal Credit Union has been involved in the community for a long time. Since I've been the CEO in 2003, we've had a pretty strong emphasis to give back to the community. And in 2004, as we were looking at a name change and looking at an activity to sponsor here in the local community, one of the options was the Sun Bowl Parade. And we felt that it was a good opportunity to give back to the community, to sponsor a large event, and also to roll out our new name. The parade is a great event for the El Paso Las Cruces communities. It has a long tradition, and as a credit union wanting to participate in the community and give back to the community, it's important for us to continue that sponsorship. We actually have staff that participates not only in building of the float, but also in participating in the parade, the day of the parade. But as they build the float, it creates some camaraderie and unity and teamwork, and then it also, they're able to see that during the parade and kind of see the results of their work. It's a great event for the El Paso and Las Cruces communities. There's a lot of tradition behind it. It's an opportunity for families and communities to come together and see this event and enjoy the event on Thanksgiving Day. And so it's important for us not only to sponsor but also participate as an event for the community, but also an event for all our families and the community to come together.
My name is Bernie Olivas, and I'm the Executive Director of the Sumbel Association. And I actually became associated with the association in 1983 as a volunteer, but actually took over as the Executive Director in September of 2001. Well, the Sumbel Parade was actually started in 1935 by the Lions Club in El Paso, and they wanted to have a parade to go before the annual Sumbel football games. I know that the Sumbel Parade has improved tremendously since we've had First Light as a title sponsor, and I hope that First Light's branding has also increased by the fact that they do sponsor the Sumbel Parade. And it's a tradition that goes on and on and on. Myself used to go to the parade when I was 4 and 5 years old, and here I am much older than that, and I still enjoy going to the parade. But I've talked to parents who said they've gone to their parade when they were kids, and now they have their kids at the parade. I think it's very important. And when you have something that lasts that long, I think it just becomes part of the family fabric that, hey, it's automatic. Hey, Thanksgiving, let's go to the parade. You know, it has been rated as the 6th best Thanksgiving Day parade in the country. And you know there are a lot of parades in the country. I can't tell you exactly how many there are, but we were ranked, one year we were ranked as high as 6th best parade nationally, which is great for El Paso. Again, it's great for the Sun Bowl Association. I think it's great for First Light Federal Credit Union. And I think, again, everybody wins.
My name is Natalia Flores, and I'm a marketing manager for First Light Federal Credit Union. I've been here for 9 years. Since I first started working here, they assigned the project to me, and it's been a true pleasure to work with all the staff from First Light and the Sun Bowl Association, as well as all the volunteers that come together for the parade. We have been a part of sponsoring the parade since 2005. And we work together with the Sun Bowl Association to invite a lot of the dignitaries, First Light members, specific guests that come to the International Museum of Art to view the parade. First Light also has a float that we build that is the leading float of the parade, and we have lead volunteers, specifically Pat Ortega, that has come through for us for the past 5-6 years to put the float together for First Light Federal Credit Union and gather a lot of volunteers in order to build the float. The Sun Bowl staff comes up with the annual theme for the parade, and this year it's going to be Extraordinary Inventions. Our float is going to feature a lot of inventions that have been created in the past, and also feature some of the costumes that are going to be, our employees are going to dress up as famous inventors. And so this gives an opportunity for a lot of the float builders to be creative and come up with a theme float according to what the parade theme is.
I'd say one of the hardest things about planning for the following year is to coming up with a theme that is both suitable for float building and yet fun for the kids and families to enjoy. It seems like it would be such an easy thing, but it really isn't. You have to pick a topic that is general enough that 22 float builders can come up with floats that are different from each other, but again, easy enough to put that thought to paper and in paper to actually wood and floral material. So it becomes quite difficult. And this year, Extraordinary Inventions is an absolute awesome theme. We've got a lot of different float builders with a lot of cool different inventions throughout time. So it's amazing what you'll find coming down the parade route, but now you get to see a little bit of what's underneath the floral. You kind of look at it and you go, what is that? But on parade morning, when you see that, you're like, hey, that was that phone I saw in that interview. It looks really cool. So float building is an amazing thing, and a lot of people don't understand it. It takes up to 3 months to build one float. You've got committees of 20, 30, 40 people that are volunteering their time 2, 3, 4, 5 nights a week after work for hours to making this happen. It just doesn't happen over a weekend. A lot of people, a lot of new float builders, you know, they have a mentality of the homecoming floats, the 4th of July floats, but we try to separate this float building with all those other parades and really take it to the next level. Yeah, we're no Rose Bowl, but you know what? We're not far off with giving the creativity and the limited budgets a lot of these companies and nonprofit groups have. And that's another thing. A lot of businesses call me, hey, how can we get in the parade? Can we do a car? Well, we have very high standards for the Thanksgiving Day parade. The Sun Bowl sets really high standards because we want to make it a very quality event on Thanksgiving Day. There's 250,000 plus people. If you want to get your business name out there, hey, the greatest thing is build an awesome float. And not only are 250,000 people going to see it, and 100,000 on TV are going to see your business name attached to a float that's going to be etched in their memory. So that's one way a lot of businesses start, by getting their employees involved. It's a good team building activity for their employees to build a float, and not only do they get the recognition, but it also builds great camaraderie for their employees.
I'm Jim Lawrence. I am chairman of the First Light Federal Credit Union Sun Bowl Parade. I've held that position for 8 years now, and I've been associated with the parade since 1970, so that is 45 years. The parade is very important to the El Paso community. It's perhaps the most important event that we have all year long. It's certainly the greatest attended presentation that we have all year long. Over 300,000 people come out to view this parade, and they come from El Paso, Juarez, and Las Cruces. It's a wonderful opportunity to come, and the weather is always nice, and we just have a great time, see a great parade. First Light Federal Credit Union is a great sponsor. They have sponsored the parade now. This will be their 11th year. And they're just a wonderful group of people to work with. They get very involved. They support the parade from start to finish, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful organization to work with. We appreciate First Light very much.
My name is John Fury. I'm a past president of the El Paso Downtown Lions Club. About 79 years ago, our club started what has become known as the Sun Bowl or the Sun Carnival Parade. We did this in conjunction with two other service organizations. The parade has been in existence ever since. Our club has put a float in the parade every year since that time. We're presently preparing a float for this week. You can see it behind me. The theme for this year's parade is Great Inventions, and this float reflects the work and ideas of Leonardo da Vinci. And several of his ideas are incorporated in this, to include an airplane.